Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is an M40 M43, the Tier 8 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Fisherman's Bay and it's under the command of Major MTP Cat 6. Now alongside him is his platoon mate and he's Osterizer 1964 in the Wizzy 1201 GFT. Game on! Now, Major M2P's in the M43, because that's the 8-inch howitzer, 203mm caliber. It's capable of doing 1050 output, penetrating 52mm of armour, and it's got a burst radius of 11.1 meters. And if you're wondering about the colour scheme, Big Bruiser, that's an actual tank. There is a real tank with that actual colorations and those markings, and it was created by Jazz. It's a very authentic version of the M40, and we do thank Jazz for these because they make these games so much more realistic when you know it's got the real markings of an actual Arty. Okay, he's looking for his first target. Decided to move to a different firing position. This looks quite a good one. The trees behind here actually do provide decent cover. He's now extending his aim to look for the enemy. Quite a few enemy at the centre line, including a black dog who's, well, driven very deep into our territory. And that could prove fatal for him. Major MTP's going for the turtle. Lining him up. Rounds out. It lands right in front of him. That's definitely going to have hurt. Well, we've lost one teammate, a M46 Ripper pattern. We're now looking at a Progetto 46. The reload time is 38.81 seconds, or nearest damn it 39 seconds, but that is because it's a heavy caliber shell. If you remember, 203mm, that's a pretty heavy duty shell in anyone's book. In fact, there aren't that many shells that are bigger in the game. Of course, I suppose you might say the 21cm shells on the German Arty, or the 24cm shells, of course, on the T92 HMC. But 203 is the standard, the 8-inch standard. And he's lost all the targets he was shooting at because they've all disappeared. Some of them actually headed north, away from our guys. Okay, he's lining up a shot on the Progetto. Work out where he's going. Fires the round in and wow!
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And that's what the 203 can do. It can wipe out a tank like that. If it lands in the right spot, it'll penetrate and it'll do a full max damage. And that looks like that was the penetration on the Progetto. Okay, we're looking for the next target. There are some still at the centre line. The turtle has decided to come inside the houses. Protect him, from give him a bit of shielding. You can see he's missing quite a few hit points already. There's an enemy renegade moving up. Unfortunately, he's under the shield of those buildings at the moment, but just behind him is a defender. And we've got a green line on him. Oh, not anymore. He's moved forward to the cover of the buildings. Yep, not going to get a shot on those two, but the Renegade's coming up to that corner, which means we might be able to get shots directly down that street towards him. And I think the same's true for the defender. Over on that side we've got the IS-3, we can splash him. He's lining up a shot. Not too close to the building, because otherwise then the shellman will hit the building. Oh, he got that one right on the money, because it landed near the IS-3. And yes, they did come down that road. Unfortunately, he's still got to wait for the shells to load. But if they stay where they are at the moment, he can get shots directly into those guys. In fact, there's two of them together there. If he hits them both together at the same time, he's going to do double damage. Remember, the burst radius on these shells is 11.1 meters. He's got 2 premium rounds and they'll do 12.2 meters. He's loaded. There's one of them. The defender's moving forward. Line him up and rounds out. Lands right in front of him for 292. So that 50 TP is not side scraping very well, whereas the defender is. But the defender just took a round in his lower plate, and well, Major MTP's almost loaded, and he's lining up a shot on the defender. He's ready, rounds out straight away, direct hit, 442, good hit. That defender's now very, very vulnerable. Next round from Major MTP is going to take that guy out the game. But he's got 10 rounds left to do that. Almost loaded. Okay, he's loaded. Now. Okay, the Renegade's the obvious one to go for. Lining him up, dialing in, and rounds out. Direct hit, 439, nice one. He's now one shot. And he goes. So stun assist off that one. The kill on the Renegade went to the Borsig. Okay, looking a little further north, there's a Centurion. That turtle is still near the center line. The scores are still even at the moment. Now, you don't get a whole lot of rounds with the M43 because it is such a high caliber. Oh, splashes the turtle to death. Lovely. Didn't need a direct hit, just needed to put the shell near him to actually make him expire. Now, IS-3 is going to take a little more work though, because he still has most of his hit points. Oh, no he doesn't. Not anymore, he doesn't. He's down to 37%. He just took a big hit from one of our guys, and he's continuing to take fire. If they can whittle him down enough, then a splash should be enough to take him out of the game. But he's pulling back into cover because he knows he's vulnerable now. And of course he hasn't got a shot while he's behind those buildings. We haven't seen that Centurion in a while, and he must be around there somewhere. The IS-3 is moving up that same street, so if the Centurion is still around, the IS-3 might spot him. Oh, he's pulled back again. That's awkward. Well, over on this side of the battlefield, Major MTP's got a shot on a P44 Pantera, who's hiding behind the windmill. Not a very good place to hide. Rounds out, blind shot. Direct hit! It went right into the Pantera. How do I know that? Well, there was no explosion, so it definitely hit something. Of course, that's the little clue that Arty players get that tank drivers don't get. And of course, if you do pull away from the aim point before the shell has landed, you will miss information like that telling you that you did hit the enemy. Gives you a clue as to what the state of the enemy is. He's loaded. I'd be very reluctant to fire, but he is firing. And he gets the Pantera! He does get him his splash kill. So he must have badly damaged him the first time, and the second time, well, the shell didn't even land on him, but it was enough to take him out. So he's now got 3 kills, but he's only got 6 rounds of ammo left. So I said, limited amount of ammo on the M43, but if you pick your targets well enough, you will get the hit points and the kills. Okay, there's a T28 prototype, which Sir Rusty turned into the Scream. Yes, the Scream, the painting, Edward Monk's painting. Well, that one wasn't fully dialed in, so that one didn't hit the target. Yes, I asked Sir Rusty if he could generate a version of that tank, which, because it looked like the turrets, the cupolas looked like it was the turrets from the painting, the Scream. And I thought, well, surely you can possibly turn that into the Scream. And he thought I meant the film, the Scream. I meant the painting. He'll know, he'll understand. It's still funny either way, because it does look like the painting. Rounds out in the IS-3. Oh, so unlucky not to get the kill there. A low roll, it left him on 8 hit points. Oh, he's still taking shots. So he's now got 4 rounds of ammunition left, but 3 kills. He's done a lot of damage, 2,229 recorded, but I think there's some more there that hasn't been recorded, like virtually all of the hit points of that Pantera. It's just checking over to the other side of the battlefield. The Centurion moved right over to the other side, and he's somewhere in that dip, possibly behind that tree, but we can't be certain. At the moment, the aim pointer's got the shell exploding on the ridgeline above the tree, but we can't see the actual Centurion. He's not behind the windmill, because the IS-3 on our team would have proxy spotted him. In fact, is that an IS-3 or an IS-6? It's an IS-6, I think. Now, let's hope that he spots the the Centurion, and he pokes around the corner. Of course, that T-28 prototype would probably take a shot. And in the meantime, our Kanonen Jagdpanzer has decided to move behind the enemy, which has now exposed where the Emil is, and the IS-3. They're firing at him. Oh, unfortunately, the IS-3 gets the kill, but we now know where the Emil is. Dialing in. Rounds out. 263 hit points. That was a useful shot. Anything that diminishes the hit points of the enemy that are holding our guys up is worthwhile. And the Borsig's going in for a big hit, and he gets it. But unfortunately, we lose the IS-3, and the Borsig's now in reload, and the IS-3 on the enemy team knows that. And unfortunately, we're about to lose. Yeah, the Borsig loses a huge amount of hit points, but that IS-3 is a one-shot. That's the same one that Major MTP hit earlier. And he's very close to that corner. If we can land another round near that, he fires. And he gets the kill! The IS-3 was side-scraping, and he took the splash and died. So that's 4 kills now. But only 2 rounds left, and they're both premium rounds. But we've heard the 2-minute hooter. So this game is going to end soon. And, well, there's only 5 enemies remaining. There's 7 left on our team. Our tanks are moving forwards, but I think it might be just too late to win this game. It's certainly too late for one tank to cap on his own. He's fired into that corner to try and get the T-28, but unfortunately it went long. He's only got 1 round left. The enemy Arty's just come into sight. He's been taken out. There's 4 enemies remaining. There's the Centurion. He's taking fire, and he's now out the game. That means there's only 3 enemies left, and that was the 1-minute hooter. This game is going to be over momentarily. He's almost loaded. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. He's loaded, but where is that T-28 prototype? And we just lost Osterizer in the 1964 in the Wizzy 120. Taken out by their SU-130PM. And there's the SU-130PM. He's perfectly under the sights. Rounds out Too late, he pulls away, but he takes 359 hit points in the process. And there's 20 seconds left to go on this battle. So close to getting a victory on this one. 3 enemies remaining, but it's not going to be enough now. 8 seconds, 7. And that's it. The clock's expired. Full 15 minutes, and it wasn't enough. The enemy held us up and stopped our team from moving forward. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was an ace tanker for Major MTP Cat 6 in the M43. He also managed to get his first mark of excellence in that game. And he also picked up a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15. A Gore's medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And lastly, the high caliber for getting the most damage in that game overall. And his win rate from the battle was 6,836. And that's a very high score indeed. Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. 4,118 hit points of damage from that game. The next high scorer was the Renegade, 3,352. And after that, it was the Borsig with 3,041. When it came to kills, he shared the top spot with the Borsig. Both got 4 kills, and then there's 2 kills for 4 tanks. Is it 5? No, 5 tanks in total. The Canonian Jagdpanzer, the Progetto 46, the Scorpion G, the SU-130PM, and the Defender on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it's Major MTP Cat 6 again with 766, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 583 for the Borsig. In fact, actually, the Borsig was after the Renegade, who got 642. So the Borsig was third with 583. Let's have a look at detail. 16 shots fired, all of the ammo in his magazine gone. 4 direct hits, no penetration, but 18 splash. Damage of 4,118 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 4, and did 787 hit points of stun assist of 14 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 46,829 credits, got 40,000 credits for completing the mission and events, and 5,039 for courageous resistance. That's for getting an epic medal in a losing or a drawn game. 91,867 credits altogether, and after ammunition resupply, took away 49,687 credits. He received 6 bonds from that battle, and 1,149 XP, 676 for courageous resistance, 2,000 for completing the mission and events, and took away 3,825 experience points altogether. He said, if I had not run out of ammo, maybe it would not have been a draw. I'm not so sure about that. I think even if you'd had more shells, you wouldn't have had the time to fire them in. And that last shell you fired, the SU-130PM was pulling away just as you were firing. And, well, unfortunate thing there was once the shell's in flight, there's nothing you can do about it. But you did get some damage off that SU-130PM. In fact, you actually picked up 711 hit points off him. It was the Pantera you took for 693. That was a blind shot, that one. That was a very nice shot as well. But 4 kills is very good, and you put a lot of effort in, and the first mark of excellence shows that you've earned it because you did do a lot of damage, and, well, you've earned the ace tanker as well. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.